Hi everybody, it's Tanya. I thought I'd talk to you. Uh, oh, well, first let me introduce this little one. This is Pandora, by Pandora. That is Tilly's littermate, her sister. I thought she was just coming to visit, but her family has had to live out of a car now, and they can't afford to keep her. So she's going to live with us. My friend Katie will be here tomorrow. So we're going to be moving soon. But I wanted to talk about anxiety and panic. Everybody's familiar with these two emotions. But I don't think everybody realizes how severe it can be for someone who suffers from anxiety disorder or panic attack disorder. I happen to have both. And when you're trying to do something new, and you suffer from depression, panic disorder, or anxiety disorder, Archer laid down. He's ringing the bell just because he's tired of being in the house. And that's not what I want. When you're training doggy doorbell, they need to know that it's only for when they have to go to the bathroom. Back to the other topic. When you know someone who has these disorders and you're trying to do something new, or you're coming into an intense time like the holidays, most people think of the holidays as a happy time, yay, or even slightly stressful with gift giving and decorating and family gatherings. But generally, it's supposed to be a positive time. For some people, it can be a very negative time. Even if they might be looking forward to the Christmas tree, the presents, or whatever, the appearance of so many people that they don't see on a daily basis can be panic-inducing. And these panic attacks, these anxiety attacks, they don't feel just like being scared like a scary movie. They can feel like a heart attack, literally. Your chest gets tight, you can't breathe. You can't slow your racing thoughts, and you feel like you're going to die. It feels like there's an elephant on your chest, and you feel like you're actually going to have a heart attack. And that's why a lot of people go to the ER, because they can't tell the difference from an actual heart attack or a panic or anxiety attack. And I've heard some people actually make fun, but there's no laughing matter here. These are as real as an actual heart attack. The fear is uncontrollable, illogical. And there's no, oh, just get over it, it's all in your head. My mother says that. And that makes me mad because, yeah, mine's caused by brain damage, what they call a TBI, traumatic brain injury. I was born early with lack of oxygen, causing part of my brain to die. That's what caused my cerebral palsy, lack of oxygen to a developing brain. And I also have problems with the damaged part of my brain, which causes my antichemical imbalance, which does cause depression, anxiety, irrational fear. One time when I was younger, I was supposed to go to a friend's house. They had somebody call in their house, and the problem is they were deaf. And the caller was hearing without using a TTY, which is a telephone for the deaf that types things out. And they needed a hearing person to come and answer the phone and see what's going on. I told them I would, but I felt pressured into it, and I'd never been to their house before overnight. I got so panicked, I had to cancel, and everybody else thought I was just being stupid or silly. I wasn't. I was scared to death to go over there and answer that phone. It had no logical or reasonable, there was no reason behind it. But I couldn't contain the fear. I was upset, I was crying. Some people think, oh, medicine can take care of it, but not always, no. So let's try to be a little understanding. When you're doing something like I am, something totally out of your comfort zone. My comfort zone is my little apartment. Moving in with someone else, right, is terrifying. Getting out of this apartment is terrifying. I am slightly agoraphobic, which means I don't like to go out of my house. I have to force myself. I'm not using these as an excuse. But as we come into the holidays, I want you to understand that some people can't control their reactions in these instances. And instead of being short or impatient with them, if they need to go off to themselves and you need someone else to help pick up the slack, or give them some time before they have to pitch in and help to calm down a little bit. I find meditating helps now that I've figured out how to do it. There's an app from a place called Plum Village. It's a monastic monastery in France. It was founded by Thich Nhat Hanh. And I learned a lot by watching their programs on how to meditate and how to clear your mind and focus your emotions. It's not a cure, but it does help me. But things like tomorrow, where my mom will be here, Katie will be here, we're going to map out what moving day is and all that. It's terrifying because there's more than just me here and the dogs, which now I've got 3. But I encourage you. There are ways to help your family member. If they feel like talking about it, fine. If not, encourage them to write it down. Encourage them to find a way to meditate and just concentrate on their breathing. Don't force it. Just concentrate on something that is steady, like a breath, a heartbeat, the beat to a song. Some people, music helps. Petting an animal can be extremely helpful. And just give them some time, let them calm down, and then they'll come back. But just telling them it's all in their head or get over it, that doesn't help. Especially coming into a time of year where families are getting together, people that you don't see for months or even the whole year are suddenly sitting next to you at the table. It can be exhilarating for some and a really happy time. Time to catch up and relax and be with the family. But that's exactly why it can be stress-inducing and terrifying for others. The best thing you can do is have patience and realize that they're not sick, they're not broken, but you need to be a little more understanding of what's going on with them. And really aware that when you're having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, you cannot be logical in thought. And it can physically cause symptoms of a heart attack. I'm not saying don't go to the ER, but I'm saying realize that your family members having trouble feeling different physically, sometimes because of the mental, can cause you to breathe quicker, your heart beats faster, your blood pressure is going to go up. You may start to shake if your fear response kicks in, you want to get away. They can't stop that. They can't make a switch, make it turn off like a light switch. And it happens to more people than they're willing to admit. A lot of people want to hide that they have depression, that they have anxiety or panic disorder. It is not wrong to have these things. You are not broken. You are you. And you're dealing with an illness that is just as much a problem as diabetes or asthma. If you need medication, take it. I've got anxiety medication. And I've got people in my life that I can call and say my thoughts are irrational right now. I'm thinking of things I shouldn't be, like suicide. Help me. And that's not wrong. I'm not saying I'm suicidal, folks. I'm trying to put it into context. For those that are lucky enough not to have a mental disorder and don't have a way to understand it, think about it as an actual illness, just like asthma or diabetes. It is something that can be managed, but can't be cured. Just like asthma can be managed by medicine, or diabetes is managed by insulin. But you can't cure it. But you can learn how to help your family member. When they're not having a panic attack, sit down and have a frank discussion when they're in a good space and say, listen, how do I help you when this happens? I realize that you have an illness. How can I help? When you're not in your right mind. And don't say it. My family knows when I say that, that means that I'm on the edge of a panic attack, that I'm getting ready to, my thinking is disrupted. Whatever your keywords are. Like my mom, when we were little, my sister and I, my mom has a very loud voice. I do too, but we can both get louder, especially in group situations. And she would have us, when we were really little, to tug on her shirt or whatever and point downward, point to the ground. And that told her, your voice is too loud, lower your voice. There are things you can do to help your family member. And you need to talk to them, see what those things are, because they're different for everybody. But just like I would point to the ground to help my mom realize when she needs to lower her voice, you need to find a way to help and not broadcast it to everybody, oh, so-and-so's having a panic attack. But maybe something they can do to let you realize, okay, we need to redirect things. Like if you're in a group and a bunch of people are talking to that person and their feelings start to bubble up, their heart starts to race, their thinking gets scattered because there's just too many people around them. Know how that feels. Be aware of this and see if you can't, oh, Jake, hey, have you seen Amy over there? Haven't she wanted to talk to you? Or direct them away and see if you can't help your friend, your family member without being so oblivious or, that's not the right word, obvious about what's going on. But don't be afraid to be aware of illnesses that aren't physical. And don't judge others for it. I love my friends and family. And I know they'll help me at any time. But there are times when my panic and anxiety gets so bad, I can become suicidal. Or the thoughts become, well, if they weren't here, I wouldn't have to deal with this. I wouldn't have to feel like this. Nobody understands me. It doesn't mean I want to kill myself. Not with me. It just means the panic is building up and I can't figure out how to control it on my own. Maybe help them. One of my friends has panic disorder as well. And when she's getting close to a panic attack, one of the best things I can do for her is to calmly lower my voice, just talk in a soothing manner with an even cadence to your voice. Calm down. Take a breath in through your nose. Hold it out through your mouth and just help her channel her thoughts into how she's breathing. This, without control, without, being obvious. It's, I am here, I am breathing, I am going to be okay. I can get through this. I'm taking a breath, I'm taking another breath. I'm okay, I'm okay. And that can help put her back onto, okay, I don't, to help her get through the panic attack. In fact, sometimes that just helps me. I just sit there and concentrate on something that happens without my knowledge, like your breathing, like your heartbeat. And I'm here. This will pass. I tell myself that. This can only be in an instant. This will pass. This will pass. I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't have to say it out loud, but that helps me to calm myself down. Because I'm not going to ever be cured of it. But that doesn't mean that I have to be alone in dealing with it. I hope this has helped. If you have further questions about these topics, please leave them in the comments. I don't usually say this, but if you want more serious topics about mental illness and how I handle it myself and go through life with mental illness, please leave it in the comments. Let me know if this is something. I'm no expert. I'm only an expert on me. I'm a master of Tanya. I speak fluent Tanya. In other words, I can only control and be knowledgeable and aware of myself. I'm the best advocate for me. And if you're not talking, if you suffer from these and other mental illnesses, talking about it, sweeping it under the rug, and if you don't know what that term means, that means to hide something. Sweeping like dirt under a rug and putting the rug over it. You don't see the dirt, but it's still under the rug. That doesn't help anybody. But we need to learn how to help each other. If you need to let your family member or friend go in another room while they're by themselves, maybe even sometime with a low light, something where they can feel safe and quiet. You can get noise-canceling headphones. I use those when the neighbor's fighting in the apartment. I can't wait to get out of the apartment. I hate apartment living. I love my little apartment, but I don't like hearing everybody. But let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. I don't usually say that, but if you want me to talk about this, I don't have any problems being open about any of it. So let me know in the comments, and you can ask any question and I will answer. But have a good holiday, and talk to your family members that suffer from emotional or mental illness, just like physical illness. There are ways that you can help mitigate that disability. And let them know that they're not broken and you're not ashamed of them just because they have an illness, but that you do want to help. And maybe you can make this time of year a more pleasant and enjoyable experience for everybody concerned. God bless. If you have a question or a comment, please leave it in the comment section. If you want to get a hold of me, look me up on Facebook, or you can write me a letter or leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day.